Good evening all. I just want to say what an honor it is to be here this evening and sharing this special evening with the family of Saint Sharbel. Let me just give you a little bio about myself. My name is Deacon Michael Chirichella, and I'm a deacon assigned to a church in Brooklyn, the Diocese of Brooklyn and Queens, called Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. It's in a beautiful area in Brooklyn. And I have a wife, Judy, who's not here. So I didn't have any idea what to do, where to turn, where to go, what to do in the airport. But I made it here. And I have two children, Michael and Jennifer, two adult children. I have a granddaughter, Andrea. And I have a brother who's a Catholic priest. His name is Father Vincent Chirichella. And we have four priests in the family, and just myself that's a deacon. We have my brother, Father Vincent. We have Father Jerry and Father Francis, who are brothers that are priests. And we have Father Andrew, who's a priest for Caritas for the Vatican. He works for the Vatican. So we have four priests and one deacon. And I just want to share with you tonight my story of my testimony with how I came to meet Saint Sharbel, and how Saint Sharbel came into my life. So tonight, I just want to talk about a quote that I found on Saint Sharbel. Saint Sharbel is very hard to find a quote, because he rarely spoke. You know, he was so humble and he lived such a life of humility and servitude. So when someone asked him for help one time, they asked Saint Sharbel for help to pray for someone in their family. And Saint Sharbel gave them this beautiful quote. He said, "God provides, let us rely on him. God provides, let us rely on him." And he shared this with this young man who asked him for prayers for somebody in his family that was very, very ill. And it's such a profound quote. And Saint Sharbel always had these people coming into his life and asking him for prayers. And this humble man, this humble priest who served and did so many things, so many miracle things even when he was alive. So they asked one of his brother monks about his life. You know, after he died, they wanted to know about Sharbel. You know, tell us something about Sharbel. So I thought this quote was so beautiful. So the priest said, he never really spoke much, but here's what I could tell you about Saint Sharbel. He was so humble, and he always put everybody first. So this was Saint Sharbel, another one of his quotes. "I do not deserve to be among my brothers and to achieve their dignity, because I am inferior to everyone." And he behaved as he was a servant to all. I would soon find out, as I got called, feeling myself being called to the diaconate, what service means and true service means. And I would find out really about this powerful, powerful saint that I never heard of before. In late January of 2022, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer, very extensive and high-grade tumors in my bladder. And I was shocked. So I went to different doctors, and I ended up at Sloan Kettering. And they removed the tumors in my bladder. And my wife and I had to go back within 3 or 4 days. And the doctors was very frank. He says, it wasn't enough. We have to remove your bladder, remove your prostate, remove your lymph nodes. My wife and I were in shock. And we wanted to go get a second opinion. Around that time, while we were running around, you know, when you get first diagnosed with a severe illness, a cancer or something that's shocking, you're like in a tunnel, and you can't believe this is going on, and this is your life, you know? And everything happens so fast. Around this time in early February of 2022, my brother, Father Vincent, whose parish is in Astoria, it's called St. Joseph's Parish in Astoria. He's the pastor of that parish. Someone sent a statue to his parish, to his rectory, and his maintenance man brought it into the rectory. And they opened it up. It was a 3-foot statue, and the right hand was broken on the statue. And my brother said, "Who's this? Who sent this statue? I don't know who this is." And he saw the inscription on the bottom, said Saint Sharbel. My brother had really no idea who Saint Sharbel is and was. So he called his best friend, Father Justin, who's a Carmelite priest, and he told him that somebody sent me a statue. They didn't put their name on it. They're anonymous. It says Saint Sharbel. Who is he? So Father Justin went to tell him, but Father Justin is traveled all over the world, and if you ever need a relic, Father Justin has like everybody's relic. He has so many relics. And he explained to my brother who Saint Sharbel was. A priest from Lebanon that lived as a hermit, has all these miracles attributed to him, the patron saint of Lebanon, and this was a big deal. Later that evening, I called my cousin, Father Jerry, who lives partially as a hermit, who is a semi-retired diocesan priest from Long Island, and I told him what happened at Father Vincent's parish, that somebody sent a statue of this saint called Sharbel. Father Jerry says to me, "How do you know about Saint Sharbel?" He says, "I was just yesterday at the shrine of Our Lady in Long Island looking for a statue in the gift shop of Father Oscar Romero, and next to that statue was a small statue of Saint Sharbel. So I purchased that statue also, and that statue is in my adoration chapel in my hermitage. And I've been praying for you for the intercession of Saint Sharbel." At that point, Father Jerry and I, Father Vincent and I, Father Justin, all these people in my life, these priests and deacons in my life, we figured out that this is not a coincidence, this is a God instance. Saint Sharbel was introducing himself, and he was stepping forward. He was front and center, and he wanted my undivided attention, and he got it. But we kept on going to different doctors. We went to another doctor and another doctor, and every doctor gave us the same diagnosis. Finally, we went to the 5th doctor, and this doctor is one of the best doctors in the country. And my wife Judy and I decided through prayer and talking about this, whatever this doctor said, we were going with. We brought my test results. He came into the room. He left. And my wife and I were silent. My heart was pounding out of my chest. What is he going to say when he walks back into this room, this exam room? It felt like forever. Finally, he came back in, and he said, "We can operate on you again. I don't think we have to remove your bladder. We're going to give it a shot." Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Saint Sharbel. Now what? I said to Father Justin and my brother, Father Vincent, we need a plan here. We got to get Saint Sharbel more involved. And Father Justin says, "Don't worry, he's going to get more involved." So he told me about St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan has a shrine of Saint Sharbel, which again, I did not have any idea, did not know about as this was going on. This is about now 3 weeks to a month into it. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to that shrine, and I'm going to go pray before my second operation that I needed on my bladder from this new doctor at that shrine. And I prayed at that relic, at this beautiful shrine of Saint Sharbel and St. Patrick's Cathedral, right off to the left of the main sanctuary. It's gorgeous. And we had a good conversation, him and I. And I asked him for a healing. After the second operation, the doctor says, We can treat it. We're going to keep on treating it with an immunotherapy. You have to come every week for 6 weeks. And so I did. The hospital is only about 7 or 8 blocks from St. Patrick's Cathedral, and I would go and visit Saint Sharbel and sit in front of his relic and pray and kneel in front of his relic. After the treatments were over, my bladder had to rest. The doctor said, you have to rest this bladder. It's been under a lot of stress for the last couple of months. In 3 months, we're going to look into to see what's going on there. And those were the 3 long months. But in that 3 months, my relationship with Saint Sharbel got stronger and stronger. And I felt him calling to me to do more things with him. And at that time, I started to get involved more with people that were ill and starting to just, around the periphery of Saint Sharbel. I still haven't heard of, at this point, the Saint Sharbel Family USA. Had no idea that existed yet. At my parish at Our Lady of Mount Carmel in Brooklyn, we have this huge feast every year. It's the longest running Italian festival in the whole country, 137 years. And July 16th is the feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. That particular day, a lot of people were coming to the shrine where I was ministering, and they were asking me to bless their religious articles. And some people asked for blessings, and I would bless their religious articles and bless them. This one man came up to me, and he asked for a blessing, and I blessed him, and I blessed him with the intercession of Saint Sharbel, and I prayed, we prayed for an intercession for him, whatever was going on in his life, for a healing. And after the blessing, he said to me, Deacon, nobody really blesses me about Saint Sharbel through the intercession of Saint Sharbel. How'd you hear about Saint Sharbel? I says, well, I had an experience with him, and I'm praying to him for intercession. He goes in his pocket, in his wallet, and he takes out a prayer card that he must have had in there forever. And he says he was in the Holy Land, and he went to Lebanon about 25 years ago, and he took out a prayer card of Saint Sharbel that this man has had in his wallet for years. And I said, thank you, Our Lady, on the feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, that you gave me this sign to speak to me. I felt such a peace after I spoke to that man. And sometimes God puts people in our lives. People always say, I don't hear God. I'm praying to God. I don't hear him. He puts people in our lives that speak and speak for him. And this man was speaking to me. The following day, after the feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, my wife and I went. She came in the room with me because I'm a big baby when they had to come and do all the tests and go with a camera and look at everything. So in one hand, I had my rosary, and the other hand, I was holding my wife Judy's hand. And I was wearing a first-class relic of Saint Sharbel that Father Justin sent to me, that he had, that I still wear every day, which was just temporary at that time. He said, just wear it when you go for tests and do everything. That he put the first-class relic in a little cross. And Father Justin also sent me the holy oil of Saint Sharbel from his tomb, his shrine in Lebanon. And I was applying that every day. And the doctor was going, he was examining, and he gave me the most beautiful words I ever heard. Michael, your bladder looks beautiful. There's no tumors. There's no cancer in there. It looks beautiful. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Saint Sharbel. Thank you, Our Lady. I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. My wife was crying. Unbelievable. Now what? Now what? What are you going to do now? You had this amazing healing from a saint that you barely knew, now that I know, he walked with me my whole life, and he presented himself when I was at the lowest point of my life, when I was in so much fear and so much anxiety and so much worry. Here he came standing front and center. Through prayer, to sitting down with the Blessed Sacrament and adoration, I asked Jesus, Why did you heal me? Why this healing, Lord? What do you want from me, Lord? Why am I healed? Why did you do this? What do you want? And I felt him talking into my heart that he's saying, I'm going to send people to you that are suffering from cancer and different disease. I says, but how, Lord? Where are you going to send these people? Where are these people going to come from? And sure enough, a short time later, I started to minister to a couple of people that had stage 4 cancer. One girl that I knew as a little child, I started ministering to her. And other people were coming into my life that had late stage cancer. And at that point, I was trying to give them information on Saint Sharbel. So what would I do? I go on the internet, I Google Saint Sharbel, and Saint Sharbel Family USA comes up. I says, wow, this is great. Let me look at this. And there's a section at the end of the Saint Sharbel Family USA that says, tell us something about Saint Sharbel. Have you had a healing through Saint Sharbel? I said, look at this. This is great. So I put in my whole thing. My name is Deacon Michael. I had bladder cancer. I had a healing through Saint Sharbel. I put as much as I can in. Send it. Hear nothing. Nothing's going on. What am I doing here? What am I doing with this saint? All right, I got healed now. Now what? About a week later, I get an email from Saint Sharbel Family USA from Gassan. And he says, Blessed Deacon, I got your email. I would like to talk to you more further about this. And, when can we talk? So we corresponded, and I'll never forget the first phone call that Gassan and I had. The first phone call we had, as you could tell by here tonight, I'm speaking for like the last 7 or 8 minutes. I do a lot of talking, and Gassan doesn't really speak much. So he's sort of like Saint Sharbel. So here I am, a race car at a red light. Vroom, 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 vroom. And I start saying, oh, I'm a deacon. I'm a deacon in the Catholic Church. This is where I'm assigned. I'm involved in youth ministry. I run youth ministry. All these things. And then I start to sound off to Gassan what my plan is, what I think I should do now with Saint Sharbel, and what we're going to do together. And we're going to change the world, and we're going to light the world on fire, and we're going to do all this stuff. And Gassan still hasn't said a word yet. So at one point I said to him, I had to say, let me get that phone for a second. Let me borrow your phone, sir. This is how I was picturing Gassan at one point. I'm doing all the talking, and Gassan at one point, here's what I was picturing you doing. At one point you probably went, who is this guy? Like, what is he for real? That's how I was picturing you. I don't know if you said it to yourself or not, but I was picturing you saying that. So then he said in such a calm voice, he said, Deacon, that's such a beautiful story. I love it. I want to do all these things you're doing sound great, but I need the documentation, the medical records of your healing before, during, and after. So I went from a race car to like a horse and buggy to slow this down a little bit. So I furnished Gassan and the Saint Family USA, Saint Sharbel Family USA, with all the medical records, right? So you got all the medical records before, the middle, and afterwards. And our journey started. My journey with Saint Sharbel and the Saint Sharbel Family USA started. And it's been a beautiful journey. When you have a healing from this powerful saint intercedes in your life, interceded in my life, now you have to give back. all the things that Father Gassan, Father Vincent, Father Justin, myself, and my spiritual advisor spoke about, especially the first time on the phone. What did I start talking about? Right? I talked about God provides, rely on Him. God provides, rely on Him. So, God provides, rely on Him. One of the things we talked about, Gassan and I, at the Saint Sharbel Family USA, is that, you know what I want to do? I want to promulgate Saint Sharbel. I'm a deacon in the Diocese of Brooklyn and Queens. I want to bring his message. I want to bring Saint Sharbel to this diocese in Brooklyn and Queens, and we want to go about doing that. So what did we talk about that first day on the phone? We talked about having a healing mass in honor of Saint Sharbel, where we would use the holy oil for Saint Sharbel, my brother and I, the relic of Saint Sharbel to pray over people, with the Blessed Sacrament. Guess what? God provides. He provided. That happened. At my brother's parish of St. Joseph's, we have a healing mass in honor of Saint Sharbel, the third Monday of every month. We have a holy hour in honor of Saint Sharbel, the first Saturday of every month at my parish of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Promise made, promise kept. Gassan, I would like to, I'm ministering to people that have cancer. I'd like to send them this holy oil from the shrine of Saint Sharbel, give them the literature about Saint Sharbel, the novena booklets, the prayer cards. Let them know what Saint Sharbel, I want to minister to them. No problem, Deacon Michael. Where do you want me to send them? Can you send them to my address? You got it. They came to my address. Holy oil, novena booklets, prayer cards, Spanish, English, biography books on Saint Sharbel. God provides, rely on Him, promise made, promise kept. Gassan, you know what would be a good idea? What now, Deacon? What do we think now? I think my brother, Father Vincent, talked about having a shrine, a statue of Saint Sharbel in his parish, in Astoria. And you know what I'd like to do? We'd like to have the bishop there when the statue comes, when the statue is dedicated. And we like to have maybe the Maronite bishop or a bishop and some Maronite priests and some deacons and sub-deacons. You know what would be great, Gassan? What is it, Deacon? We'd like to do that on the feast day of Saint Sharbel. Wouldn't that be awesome if that happened? That would be really awesome. I think so too. What happened on the feast day of Saint Sharbel? We dedicated the statue of Saint Sharbel, Saint Peregrine, and Blessed Carlo Acutis, with the bishop, with the Maronite priests, with the deacons, with the family of Saint Sharbel members that came to Astoria, Queens, to St. Joseph Parish. God provides. Rely on Him. This is the story. This is the journey that we're still going on. This is the story that we keep on promulgating, what Raymond was talking about. A spiritual journey. A spiritual journey that we're going on. I can't tell you how many times I've called, reached out to Gassan with the Saint Sharbel Family USA. How many times I need some holy oil from the shrine. I need some booklets. I need some prayer cards. Where do you want me to send them, Deacon? Where do you want them? Send them to this address. All over the world. All over this country. The first time I gave my testimony of healing was last August in Obispo, California. And people look up that healing. When people get diagnosed with cancer or any kind of illness, they start Googling healings. And this particular video comes up. The healing, Saint Sharbel healings. And this video comes up, this YouTube video. I can't tell you how many emails I've gotten at my parish, at my rectory, how many phone calls the secretaries take about, they want to talk about Saint Sharbel. You know what would be a good idea, Gassan? Yes, Deacon. Father Vincent and I do go on different pilgrimages. We lead different pilgrimages around the world. It'd be great to talk about these pilgrims about Saint Sharbel. And wouldn't it be great if I had some material and we had a healing mass in honor of Saint Sharbel in these different pilgrimages in California, in Medjugorje, in Assisi. God provides, rely on Him. That happened too. Today, I flew in this morning very early. Gassan called me a few months ago, and he says, Deacon, we would like to have you as one of the guest speakers at the Saint Sharbel Family USA dinner in Gala. I says, Gassan, what date is it? He gave me today's date, right? October 28th. I said, oh, I have a baptism that day, Gassan. I have a baptism. I can't. This is my daughter's best friend. You know, he goes, well, maybe she'll change the date. I says, did you ever deal with an Italian mother that's baptizing the baby? It's not going to work out too well. He says, you never know. We'll pray if it's God's will. You'll be there that day. I said, Gassan, this girl's not going to change this because she has a luncheon plan, all this big fiasco. About an hour later, Saint Sharbel wasted no time in the Holy Spirit. I get a phone call from the girl. She says to me, the mother, Deacon, can I switch the date from October 28th to October 29th at 12 o'clock? And I said, yes, you can. I couldn't get off the phone fast enough to call Gassan. And I said, you were right. You said if Saint Sharbel wants you there and Jesus wants you there, you're going to be there that night. God provides. Rely on Him. This humble saint who lived his life in so much humility and so much service, it's just incredible. Today, Afif picked me up from the airport today. And he said, I'm going to drive you. We're going to drop you off at the hotel. And then we're going to go to the Saint Sharbel Shrine at Our Lady of Lourdes today. Every time I try to go to this shrine, I've been blocked for the last almost 2 years. We had a pilgrimage set to come here to the Shrine of Our Lady of Lourdes. That was canceled. My brother, Father Vincent, got his master's degree in psychology. We were in Sterling, Virginia a few months ago, and everybody was tired. Nobody wanted to go with me to the shrine. I didn't want to bother Gassan. I didn't want to bother none of the guys, Gabby and Afif. So I didn't go. But today, Afif and I went. We went, and we had so many things blocking us. We just wanted to make it to the Mass at 12 o'clock. The 12 o'clock Mass. We get there at 7 minutes to 12. And I would like to serve at the Mass. So we walked in, and I asked the pastor, Father Tim, can I serve? But I don't have any. He says, no, get an alb, get a stole, serve the Mass. So now the sacristan there today, I'm looking at her, one of the sisters, and she looks so familiar to me. And she gave me a little bit of a, dirty look. I'm saying, she must remember me from Brooklyn. It turns out that she's Sister Peace, that she used to be the youth minister at St. Peter and Paul Parish, which was one of our sister parishes in Williamsburg, and we collaborated about 6 or 7 years ago with our youth ministries. And I says, where do I know you? She goes, I don't know. Where do I know you? I says, Brooklyn. She goes, yes. And then we found out what was going on. She said to me today, would you like to pray privately with the relic of Saint Sharbel from the shrine? I said, I wanted to show off a little bit. I said, I'm wearing a first-class relic of Saint Sharbel daily. But if you want me to pray with the relic, I'll do it. Well, anyway, she opened up, and I prayed. I had the relic in my hand, and she says, Deacon, can you do me a favor? There's a woman here that's suffering from cancer. She's in the grotto of Our Lady of Lourdes. Can you pray over her with the relic? So I said to Afif, get a card. I don't know if the lady's Spanish or she speaks English. There was 2 prayer cards left at Saint Sharbel by the shrine because everybody was taking the card. I says, take them both. So we went and I prayed over her with the relic. And Sister Peace held the card for me. And I said the Saint Sharbel prayer to intercede for this woman for healing. I turned around and there was a line of people that wanted to get blessed with the relic of Saint Sharbel. Over and over again. The reason why we went there today and the evil one was blocking us today to try to get to that mass and try to get to that shrine was to serve at that mass, to go to the shrine of Saint Sharbel, to get the relic that Sister Peace wasn't a coincidence, a God instance again. Those people knew about Saint Sharbel today, and we prayed over them with the relic. God provides, rely on Him. I don't know where the rest of this journey is going to go. I have no idea. And when I go overboard, Gassan usually reels me in. And he tempers me down a little bit. Because I'm on fire for Saint Sharbel. I love him so much, and I'm so happy that he presented himself in my life through this time of suffering. I'm so happy. And I'm so happy to be here tonight, to be part of the Saint Sharbel Family USA. And I'm glad, Gassan, that you answered my email. Because things happen for a reason. And whatever I can do, whatever we can do to promulgate Saint Sharbel, we're going to do it. And I have so much devotion to this beautiful saint that before, almost 2 years ago, I never heard about. And it has changed my life. And my life was upside down, but now it's right side up. And I know the direction I'm going in as long as Jesus, Saint Sharbel, and Our Lady take me there together. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. And God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much.